A shocking wave of violence against Palestinians by Israeli settlers has sparked a strong response from Israel's president and military leaders. This escalating conflict in the West Bank has left many questioning the role of the Israeli government and the future of peace in the region. A call for action. President Isaac Herzog, in a rare and powerful statement, condemned the attacks as shocking and serious. His words carry weight, as he is seen as a moral compass and unifying figure for the country. Herzog emphasized that the violence committed by a small group crosses a red line, and urged all state authorities to take decisive action to eradicate this phenomenon. Here's where it gets controversial. Settler violence and the Israeli response. The attacks on Palestinian villages, Beit and Deir Sharaf, involved massed settlers, setting fire to vehicles and clashing with Israeli soldiers. This incident is part of a larger surge in settler violence since the war in Gaza 2 years ago. The UN reports a record number of attacks in October, with over 260 incidents, the highest since tracking began in 2006. Military leaders, including Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir and Major General Avi Bluv, echoed Herzog's sentiments. They emphasized the need to stop these violent acts, which they described as contrary to Israeli values and a distraction from their primary mission. Bluth highlighted the resource-intensive nature of responding to this anarchist fringe, which could otherwise be directed towards security and counterterrorism operations. A divided response. While the Israeli military and president condemn the violence, Palestinians and human rights workers accuse the Israeli army and police of failing to halt these attacks. The current Israeli government, dominated by far-right proponents of the settler movement, has been criticized for its lack of action. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who formulates settlement policy, and Cabinet Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who oversees the police force, are key figures in this debate. Moyad Shaban, tracking the violence for the Palestinian Authority, accused Israel of providing protection and immunity to the settlers. He called for sanctions against groups supporting the colonial settlement terrorism project. The impact on Palestinians. Palestinians in Beit expressed their anger and frustration. Mahmoud Adaiz highlighted how the violence undermines his family's right to live in safety and free from fear. Amjad Amer al-Junaidi, whose dairy factory was attacked, described the incident as a fully organized tactic, with settlers carrying gasoline and using tools to gain entry. And this is the part most people miss. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza. While the focus has been on the West Bank, the situation in Gaza remains critical. UN officials welcomed the reopening of the Zikim crossing but emphasized that more needs to be done. The demand for essential supplies like baby formula and syringes for vaccinations far exceeds the current supply. UNICEF spokesperson Ricardo Pires warned of potential supply problems starting next month if shipments into Gaza are not increased. The Israeli agency in charge of humanitarian aid, Kogad, stated their commitment to facilitating aid trucks in accordance with the ceasefire agreement. This complex situation leaves many questions unanswered. What steps will the Israeli government take to address settler violence? How can the humanitarian crisis in Gaza be resolved? And most importantly, what does the future hold for peace and stability in this region? We invite you to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Let's spark a thoughtful and respectful discussion on these critical issues.